There's an old saying, a man has two lives. One starts the day he's born, and the other the day his father dies.
Yep.
On October 17th, 2015, your father, Emory, suffered a heart attack during a chess tournament and died at age 56. How did you handle the news, and what impact did this have on you?
Well, I was very quiet when I found out. When bad things happen, you're often quiet. This is something to remember for life. If somebody's sitting there explaining how bad their life is or how bad they feel or how bad something's happened and they're blabbering away, they feel fine. They just want attention.
True sadness is silence.
Yeah, true sadness is silence. So when someone's sitting there going, oh, it's so hard, it's so bad, they just want you to feel sorry for them. They want attention. If they were truly sad, they wouldn't say very much at all. It affected my life because I felt like my days of learning were over and then it was my time to teach. It's a instant shift in mentality because while my father was alive, I obeyed everything I was told. And then he died and it's like, okay, well now there's no one else left to obey or anyone else I'll respect on that level. I had my fight coach who I always respected and I will respect at the end of my life. But there's just a shift in mentality from student to teacher. And there you feel a lot more responsible for things. You grow up in a lot of ways. And it's a natural progression of life. There's the only alternative to losing your parents is for them to lose you, which I think would be worse because it's not the way things are supposed to go. So what we said earlier about feedback is absolutely true. You sit there and you realize all the times you should have spoke to him when you didn't, and the calls you should have answered, and the times you should have prioritized family over something else, and you learn from it and you take it all moving forward. But I think he did a fantastic job as a father. I think I had the best father on the planet. And even as we said about Trump losing, or perhaps my father's job was to die at that perhaps moment to teach me what I needed to know. Perhaps that was his final task. And he did it flawlessly. So if my father was still alive, I wouldn't be half the man I am today. But this is how life's supposed to go. And I hope my sons will one day say the same thing about me. And he gets to live forever because I'm so fantastic. That's the greatest thing about having a son. That's the whole point of having a son. Yeah. It used to be Andrew, son of. You were the representation to the name. So my father will be discussed into eternity because I am being discussed. And hopefully my son is so fantastic that I am discussed into eternity. So when you have a son, you want him to be such an exceptional individual. People want to listen to him speak so you can live forever. That's the point of having a son in the first place. I don't know why some people have children and they say, I just want my children to be happy. That's great. They can be nobodies, but I want my children to be important. And it's not just about happiness. Life's not just about happiness. They have duty and honor, and they have important things they must do. And they have things they must do even if it doesn't make them happy because they're supposed to do it. And I'm going to raise a lineage of super soldiers, and the name Tate will echo into eternity, pissing the Matrix off, and they're going to be my offspring, and they have a duty, and they don't get to just be happy. They have work to do. So, yeah. I reacted to my father's death the best way I could, which I believe was learning lessons from him. I was supposed to.
I went through his old Twitter. You asked Elon to reinstate it or maybe to not take it down because he was going through a lot of bot Twitter accounts and inactive ones at the time. I'll read you some quotes. So, the truth is underestimated, often is manipulated, oftentimes unanticipated, rarely unappreciated, never to be mitigated, often to be celebrated. What do you make of this?
Well, truth is unappreciated. I think he nails it almost in the first line. People don't want the truth if it doesn't make them feel the way they want to feel. There's confirmation bias. People say they like to find information that already confirms the things they already think. That is true, but I think confirmation bias is actually a lot more applicable to feelings. People like to see things that makes them feel the way they want to feel or confirm the feelings they already have. That's what's so dangerous about emotional creatures. If they feel angry, they're only going to see things that make them feel angry. And if you don't have the agency as a man, if you don't have the capability to use the truth to benefit your life, then the truth is going to be unappreciated, right? If you look at the realities of the world and you can take all of those realities and use them as building blocks, become a more fantastic person or build a fantastic life, then you're going to like the truth. But if you look at the truth and you don't have the competence and agency to do it, then the truth is going to aggravate you and you'd rather not see it. You'd rather see a false version of reality. So I think a lot of it comes down to your competence and capabilities as a man and how prepared you are to look into the truth and understand certain things. That's what the whole Matrix is. The whole version of the whole idea of the Matrix is a false version of reality. They're projecting in front of everybody's eyes. You look at the truth of the fact that they're stealing from the tax base and inflation's out of control and they start these wars for profit. You look at all these truths if you can use those truths and understand them in a way that you can still benefit, even by telling the truth about the truth, even by just highlighting the truth to other people, then the truth is going to become attractive. But if you're working your ass off in some bullshit job, getting inflated to the point you can't pay rent anymore, and you have to look at this truth and it's only going to aggravate you, and you don't have the skills it takes to use that truth to benefit yourself, then you're going to rather not see it. So I think he said something else, often manipulated. Yeah, absolutely. People say truth is subjective, but I don't think that's true. There is a truth. And to understand that and to appreciate that, you have to be able to use that to win.